This is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, a key African leader. He fought against apartheid in South Africa, a racial segregation system. After spending 30 years of his life in prison, he became the first black president when South Africa held its first democratically held elections in 1994. Nelson Mandela's account reflects a significant day in history, May 10, 1994. On that day, a momentous event occurred in South Africa as the first democratic, non-racial government took shape, symbolized by the inauguration ceremony at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. This place, once a symbol of white dominance, now hosted a diverse gathering to establish a new era for the country. Mandela, alongside his daughter Zenoni, witnessed the swearing-in of key figures, including Mr. de Klerk and Thabo Mbeki. When his turn came, Mandela pledged his commitment to the country's constitution, emphasizing the importance of justice, peace, and human dignity. He declared the end of political oppression and vowed to eradicate poverty, discrimination, and suffering. The day was filled with powerful symbols, notably the display of South African military might in support of the democratically elected government. The convergence of people from different backgrounds singing both old and new national anthems marked a symbolic shift towards unity and inclusivity. Reflecting on the country's history, Mandela acknowledged the deep wounds caused by apartheid, a system of racial discrimination and oppression. He credited the monumental change to the sacrifices of countless individuals and the resilience of his people. Mandela felt a profound connection to those who fought for justice before him, recognizing their courage and sacrifice as the foundation for the country's transformation. Mandela learned about courage from the remarkable individuals he encountered during his struggle against apartheid. He emphasized that true courage lies not in the absence of fear but in overcoming it. He believed in the innate goodness of humanity, even in the darkest of times, finding moments of compassion and humanity even among his captors. He highlighted the dual obligations every person carries, to their family and to their community or country. In the oppressive system of apartheid, fulfilling both these obligations was immensely challenging for people of color. Mandela's hunger for freedom evolved from personal desires to the collective yearning for freedom among his people, propelling him to join the African National Congress and dedicate his life to the cause. Mandela deeply believed in the indivisibility of freedom. He recognized that both the oppressed and the oppressors suffered under the chains of injustice and prejudice. He asserted that true freedom cannot exist if it's at the expense of someone else's liberty. His autobiography is a testament to the struggle for justice, equality, and the unwavering belief in the human spirit's capacity for love and resilience. Mandela's journey from personal aspirations for freedom to becoming a symbol of hope and unity for an entire nation is a powerful story of courage, sacrifice, and the pursuit of a better world. Answers to the oral comprehension check questions. Question 1. Where did the ceremonies take place? Can you name any public buildings in India that are made of sandstone? Answer. Ceremonies were at Pretoria's Union Buildings. In India, Parliament House in New Delhi and Red Fort in Agra are made of sandstone. Question 2. Can you say how the 10th of May is an autumn day in South Africa? Answer. South Africa's May is autumn, it's cooler there. In India, May is spring. Seasons in both places are opposite. Question 3. At the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentions an extraordinary human disaster. What does he mean by this? What is the glorious, human achievement he speaks of at the end? Answer. Extraordinary human disaster refers to apartheid's oppression. The glorious human achievement is a non-racial government replacing that system. Question 4. What does Mandela thank the international leaders for? Answer. Mandela thanks international leaders for supporting justice, peace, and human dignity at South Africa's victory. Question 5. What ideals does he set out for the future of South Africa? Answer. Mandela aims to liberate from poverty, discrimination, ensuring equality and freedom for all regardless of background. Question 6. What do the military generals do? How has their attitude changed, and why? Answer. The military generals salute and pledge loyalty to the new government, a shift from enforcing apartheid to backing democracy. Question 7. Why were two national anthems sung? How does Mandela describe the systems of government in his country, 1. In the first decade, and 2. In the final decade, of the 20th century? Answer. Two anthems symbolized unity. Initially, racial domination prevailed, later, a rights-based government emerged. Question 8. What does courage mean to Mandela? Answer. Courage, to Mandela, means not fearing but overcoming it. He learned from those facing danger for their beliefs. Question 9. Which does he think is natural, to love or to hate? Answer. Mandela believes love exists naturally, while hate is learned and can be unlearned. Question 10. What twin obligations does Mandela mention? Answer. Mandela speaks of obligations to family and country. In apartheid, fulfilling both was hard for people of color. Question 11. What did being free mean to Mandela as a boy, and as a student? How does he contrast these transitory freedoms with the basic and honorable freedoms? Answer. As a boy, freedom meant simple joys; as a student, it was basic liberties. Later, he sought more fundamental freedoms. Question 12. Does Mandela think the oppressor is free? Why not? Answer. Mandela believes the oppressor isn't free because their prejudice imprisons and limits their humanity. Questions and answers for the thinking about the text section of the autobiographical extract. Question 1. Why did such a large number of international leaders attend the inauguration? What did it signify the triumph of? Answer. International leaders attended to celebrate the end of apartheid and the birth of a democratic South Africa. Their presence signified the triumph of justice, peace, and human dignity over a history of oppression and discrimination. Question 2. What does Mandela mean when he says he is simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before him? Answer. Mandela feels he represents the collective courage and sacrifices of those who fought for freedom before him. He acknowledges his role as a continuation of their struggle and honors their legacy in shaping his journey. Question 3. Would you agree that the depths of oppression create heights of character? How does Mandela illustrate this? Can you add your own examples to this argument? Answer. Yes, oppression can cultivate remarkable strength. Mandela saw this in people who faced hardships yet showed incredible courage. Examples like Malala Yousafzai advocating for education despite threats or activists enduring hardships for justice reflect this idea. Question 4. How did Mandela's understanding of freedom change with age and experience? Answer. Mandela's view of freedom evolved. Initially, he sought personal freedoms but later understood the broader struggle. His perception expanded from individual liberties to fighting for the dignity and rights of his entire community. Question 5. How did Mandela's hunger for freedom change his life? Answer. Mandela's hunger for freedom transformed his life. It changed him from a law-abiding citizen to a revolutionary, sacrificing personal comforts for the collective freedom of his people. His dedication reshaped his purpose and life's path. Important vocabulary from the extract. Besieged. Surrounded. Amphitheater. A building without a roof, with seats stepped and sloping upwards. Confer. Give. Outlaws. Castaways, i.e. those who have been separated from mainstream society. Emancipation, liberation from restriction. The deprivation. A state of not having one's just benefits. Discrimination, act of being treated unfairly or unjustly. Spectacular array. An exciting display. Mindful of. Conscious of, aware of, same as not unmindful of. Despised. Disrespected. Wrought. Old-fashioned, formal word for, made or done. Profound. Great and intense. Resilience. The ability to endure, withstand difficulties. Pushed, to our limits. Strained to the last point to bear mental or emotional pain. Inclinations. Natural tendencies. Inevitably. Unavoidably. Illusion. Something that appears to be real but is not. Transitory. Temporary. Curtailed. Shortened. Prejudice. A biased and unjust dislike,